Hello everyone and welcome to this video. We're going to be fixing the handling on my latest unreleased aircraft. Now if you haven't seen the video where I go through 4 different theories when it comes to plane building, I highly recommend you take a look because we uncovered some fascinating information that will hopefully help all of you in your upcoming plane builds. But now it's time for me to implement them in mine and fix the sluggish behavior and handling of this specific aircraft. So let's say I'm dead set on using those medium wing sections and I don't want to go and replace everything with small ones. That's fine too, but I also think there is something fundamentally wrong with this plane. The position of the flaps makes no sense. They're in the middle of the wing, they should be further out, and the size of them is small. Will increasing it to a larger flap help us in that rolling that we kind of see is so slow here in this footage? This video actually comes because I noticed an issue with my aircraft in the testing of the 4 different theories of airplane construction, and you may have noticed it too, maybe you even commented, but pretty much if you take a look at the position of the fins or rudders in relationship to the center line of the airplane, you'll notice that this distance in yellow is not as long as it can be. We would obviously get a very large improvement in the handling of the aircraft if we pushed out these flaps as far out as possible. You got to think in terms of moment and rotation about this center axis. The further our flap is out, the more of a possibility it has to impact that center line. You're literally multiplying it by this distance. So this position, while maybe I did it for aesthetic reasons, I don't even know, it really doesn't work with what I'm ultimately trying to do here in terms of getting this thing to handle better. So I'm just going to place this block here, and it will allow me to select both of these and move them out to there, and then I could just use that block to join this up like that. And we're going to do the same to this side here as well. So if you ever find yourself making an aircraft and you're not maximizing the distance that the flap is from the center line of the airplane, you're actually losing out on a lot of different forces that can work to your advantage. So this can be cleaned up, and this tiny little thing, I even read that they nerfed it, so it's not even really doing much of anything. So without even increasing and fixing these wing sections, which we also found out in our other video are not as efficient as using the front small wing section, just having this there will actually give us an improvement in handling. Alright, and now we're going to take off. Okay. Once we're up in the air, we can do some tests. So now with the flaps in a different location, I mean, still slow, but you could see we're getting a much better angle. Much better angle. Like, and to be honest, as I said, this isn't a maneuver airplane. It's not meant to kind of be used for military exercises and tactics. So I would say that something like this should be enough for what one is trying to do. I mean, you can now sort of maneuver it quite strongly, but you don't need to have it rolling faster, I suppose. But I mean, let's try the bigger flaps. Let's try the medium one first and just throw it on as such and make sure that they're connected in the same way as the previous ones in both instances. And I am using Z's auto aircraft or airplane gyroscope. I do find it good for my applications. I mean, I will admit I used it so long ago before I had any competency in making my own, but I also found that it works quite well, and for a lot of instances I'm not so much of a plane person, so I'm quite happy with using Z's controller for this and just having my airplanes adapted to it. A lot of people use the same controller, I find. Anyway, now with that RPS up, turn the brake off and hit the collective. We'll take ourselves off and see what we can do as far as rolling goes. So let's try some roll maneuvers here. I wouldn't say they're faster than before. Maybe a little more decisive almost. Like they do kind of cut through the sky and give us, I would say, a little more of like a firm hold rather than being flimsy and floppy. So not faster, but definitely still good. And no matter what, irrefutably better than my previous location, which was right here. Those were the worst. Those ones didn't allow me to do much more of a tilt than like this. Whereas now, I could just keep going and probably even 90 degrees to my own peril if I decide to do something like that. So now let's take our lessons learned and let's remove these large or medium wing sections and replace them with the small ones, in addition to leaving this medium control surface here. So if I go to wings, we're going to be putting these small wing sections and placing them with the up arrow. Now, another thing that I want to test in this video will be, does the direction of these arrows matter, and in what way does it matter? How does it impact or affect the flight of your plane? So you could see, okay, I could do that. So with these wings, with these large control surfaces, I'm a bit limited to where I can place this, and this kind of looks a little bit ugly here, unless I'm trying to do that, but then that doesn't come off looking as nice. So what we can do is just go ahead and install the regular old blocks with these regular sloped pieces. We'll leave that open there, and over here we'll just put in more regular blocks. The assumption is certainly that this version will perform the best out of all of them. So here we are with our small wing sections, with our medium flaps or control surfaces, and that is irrefutable evidence that you are able to use. Are we gonna make it? Yeah, okay, so there you have it. This thing is way more maneuverable. Putting the small wings, putting the larger flaps, it is very spiffy and very agile without me changing the microcontroller at all. Sometimes even small and subtle changes can make a large impact when it comes to the handling of creations, and of course that even goes without saying regarding the microcontrollers. A small tweak in a microcontroller can have huge impact. So there you have it, a little bit of a showcase of this upcoming airplane with some technical advice and instructions when it comes to how to position and place your flaps and control surfaces with regard to the aircraft. I do want to thank each and all of you for watching this video, for being a part of the community, for commenting, subscribing, helping others, all that good stuff. I really love seeing it all, and I think it is so awesome. I also do want to give a huge shout out to all of my supporters. So whether or not you are part of the Captain's Club or whether you are another level of YouTube member, I want to give you a shout out. I thank you all. And then of course the names here are the Discord server boosters and the Captain's Circle of YouTube member, which are the highest level of supporter, and they get to enjoy a lot of additional perks in addition to getting new videos and getting unreleased creations and stuff like that. But ultimately they're giving me support, and I'm taking their support and pushing it into making more content, more creations, and more stuff for everyone to enjoy. So thank you so much, and until next time, happy Stormworksing everyone.